Hi, we finally got to Zion National Park in the evening. Actually, we pulled in just before 7 o'clock in the evening. We got a late start this morning, and we went over a scenic mountain area, so it took quite a while to get there. We went to Cedar City, which is north, in order to get some fresh water and things like that, and then drove south from there. We went to a boondocking location that was not designed for our trailer, and then we found someplace else, thankfully, because Jenny's iPhone was able to find one. So we were there, we ate supper and took our time because we knew the park was really going to be busy at this time. So we wanted to wait until people were leaving, and fortunately we were able to find a spot in the parking lot. And here we have our first look at Zion. What's the name of this highway?
Zion Canyon.
It's a real windy mountain road going up through a tunnel, actually. And just give you a look at what we've got here for some of the areas. See, the sun's going down behind this way, so that's obviously west. And then you got the different layers of rock here by the different colors. And there we go. What is it?
Zion Mount Carmel Highway. Carmel, I guess.
Mount Carmel, huh?
I guess so.
All right, you get to be Mount Carmel up there. Well, we're still on the highway. We drove through a couple of tunnels on the way here. One was opened up 1930, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Took
1.1 miles long, and the people who made it moved forward 30 feet a day.
The rock is quite pink here. It's sandstone. There's all kinds of sand mixed in with the rocks where we're standing. This is called Checkerboard Mesa. The checkerboard comes from the horizontal laying down of the sand dunes, and they became sandstone, and then the vertical cracks result from freezing and thawing. Well, there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people here. The line for the shuttle is tremendously long. So we are walking today. This is the Virgin River that has carved into the area of Zion Park. We are in the South Campground right now. We had to park outside the park because it was so busy, even though we got to the park about 8:30 in the morning. There are huge numbers of people walking toward the park. It puts Disneyland to shame. South Campground, 10:12 in the morning on Sunday. What's the date?
It's the 27th.
The 27th of May, 2018. This is the last shuttle stop farthest up in the canyon, the Temple of Sinawava. Temple of Sinawava. This is a riverside walk. It takes us upstream, the Virgin River. You can see all the people here. It's
Where'd your hat go?
Navajo sandstone. Do it. Well, we are approaching the Narrows. Probably can hear the water flowing beneath me here. Like this way, we have a ways to go yet on our path. But this Navajo sandstone is very hard, as sandstone goes. So it takes quite a while for it to break down, for the canyon to widen. Yeah, hanging gardens. Weeping Wall. I think we have some columbine over here. Whoops, it always zoomed in here. And then we go. Okay.
There's a big bird up there.
Whoops. Well, we have reached the end of the dry path, and from now on it gets wet. But we don't have the shoe wear to hike in the water. But looks like thousands of people think it's a good idea. The red rock in the center is referred to as the Oregon. Here the white stone in the middle is called the Great White Throne. And way up here is Angel's Landing. There is a very, very narrow trail that leads out to the very tip, very end. Many people will just hike part way up, and the hardy few will go all the way. And that's up the canyon this way.
Look up close. There's people moving.
And then down the canyon this way. You can see the floodplain here. With flash floods, you can see the sand extending way out here. And big flash floods, of course, will come all the way out here to this edge.
I can get it myself.
Alright, we're about to go on the Weeping Rock Trail. It also has other trails leading off of it. Don't know exactly what we're going to do with it yet. The trail up goes right up this slot right here. There's a bunch of switchbacks as it goes up.
Not very many people have diabetes.
We are now headed up the Weeping Rock Trail. As I showed you earlier, from down below, it's a very steep trail with many switchbacks. Well, this is why it's called Weeping Rock. Well, we're crossing the river here by a number of trails by the grotto that head up to Angel's Landing. Whoa, where are you? Up here, but we're not going to take that trip. We're going to go to the... Oh, we got people walking past and shaking the bridge. All right, we're on the trail to the Emerald Pools. And it looks like it's going to take us up a ways. The river down there and the bridge we just passed. Still hiking to the Emerald Pools. Notice all the deciduous trees down by the river. And of course, when you get away from the river, it's evergreens of some type or another for the most part. And there is Zion Canyon. This is Middle Emerald Pool up on the sandstone. Extending off and down into the river. Hello? I think there's an upper pool up there. Going down off this small waterfall. Across the slick rock. And then down over there past those people's Middle Emerald Pool. This is Upper Emerald Pool.
Oh, those are the tadpoles' eggs. Where they come out from?
Oh, well, don't step on them, okay?
They like them.
From the Middle Emerald Pool, we have this waterfall. And these rocks down here. Alright, this is the Lower Emerald Pool. Got quite a bit of water here falling from above here, coming down, getting the trail quite wet. And then the Lower Emerald Pools seem to be down here. And lots of people here today enjoying it.
Hi!
Okay, we're up on the trail headed downstream, but we're on the side of the canyon. And this is what we've got to look at. Go from red rock to white rock to red rock to a little bit of water down here in the wash. One last hike for the day. It's around 7 o'clock, We're going to hike the Watchman Trail. 2.7 miles. It's a moderate difficulty. Ready to go, kiddo?
I'm ready to go.
You ready?
Always.
What do we have over here?
That there's the Virgin River.
That's Yucca.
Oh, all right. shoot the river.
All right, here we go. Jenny just mentioned that there's a stark difference in vegetation on each side of this trail. Here by the river, you've got these cottonwoods and other trees. And you go to the right side of the trail, you've got desert conditions. All along the river here. Near the campground, they have quite a few areas where you can access the river. Both sides. We're facing the south campground, and the Watchman campground is to my left and behind me. More to the left than anywhere else. And people have been entering the river today, trying to cool off. Although the water's cold. A little contrast there and light. This dry, dead grass that we see here is an invasive species that they're trying to get rid of because it's such a terrible fire hazard. You can see it just goes up like tinder when it gets started. One of the larger lizards that we've found in this park. I'm not sure what they're called. See if I can get a little closer. Stop shaking. I reached a wash. All the scree. Well, it's not scree. It's more. It's too big to be scree. A lot of busted down rock. So you make a slight bend.
No.
I'm not sure, but I think the trail ends up there someplace. But we shall find out. There's something up there? Oh, sure enough, cacti. Oh, there's a rock there too. Hear the tree frogs talking to each other? If you listen carefully, they sound like sheep. It's an interesting trail. It's getting really rocky now and somewhat more steep. No.
I know, the path goes over here, but the prickly pear is right here. See the flowers?
Jenny found some cacti here.
See the flowers? Alright.
This is nice. You come to these washes and there's more water, and the vegetation changes significantly from more desert-like vegetation to something more like you'd see in the Midwest. You can see there's a spring right here. Let's see if we can't bring those rocks into focus. Nope, backlighting is too much. Well, we've reached the top of the trail, and down below there's a loop trail now. It just goes around a little ways and comes back. And the park is down there. Sun, you can see, is hidden behind the wall of the canyon. And the city of Springdale is down there. We're back down by the river. So our hike along the Watchman Trail is coming to an end. And as it does so, so does our trip to Zion National Park.